Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we're looking at the King's Game episode 10, or the Ousama Game episode 10. So, it's a literal rat race to the end. We have 2 episodes left, but this week's episode focused on a race to the top of this mountain. Whoever was furthest behind would be punished by the king within 8 hours of a countdown of sorts. We see that everyone already starting to do these kind of shady things. We have the one dude throwing Matsura down the stairs. We then have what's her face? I forgot. Natsuko all the way past everyone because she decided to leave immediately once the countdown started. It's like, come on, man. These characters are so messed up. I swear to God. This week's episode though wasn't actually bad. It worked for what it did because it really wasn't a very complicated episode. More so than anything else, this is one of those episodes where surviving this almost seems impossible, just because there is someone that's going to die. And we did have a death. It wasn't because of the race itself. It was more so because the one who was thrown down the stairs, Matsura, basically got really hurt in the process of that, and then started pushing his body to the limit, and then passed out when him and Rion and Nobuaki were sitting down together. He passed out, fell into the water, and even though Nobuaki, tried to save him as desperately as he couldn't really do it. So, there was one death, and then we look like we have Nobuaki possibly being the next one to die next week's episode because he was the furthest behind. If the death of the one dude doesn't count, or if it doesn't count, then, he's gonna die. If it does count, then he'll be lucky enough that he's okay and safe. But here's the thing is that I want to tell you guys a lot of concepts of the show that I know already by reading the manga and stuff like that, but I can't really do that because that would be spoilers for the prequel manga of sorts, and also kind of spoilers for this story too. So here's what's going to happen, by the way. I told a lot of my commenters, the ones that actually seem to care about these reviews, not the ones that are just shit taking it because it's like, oh, you're reviewing it, and I love the Ousama Game and King's Game. Okay, that's good for you. I'm glad you do. There's nothing wrong with that, but with the comments, man, I swear to God. Seriously. But what's interesting is that I will explain what is happening in terms of story, and I will explain also what the King's Game really is, and why there's certain ways to actually survive the King's Game, as well as the kind of ultimate thing of the prequel manga, in case you guys haven't read that or don't want to read it. I do advise reading it, though. It's actually probably one of the better parts of the King's Game is the prequel story that takes place in the village 30 years ago. It's called, I think, the Ousama Game Keegan, I think, or something like that. I believe is what it's called. I could be slightly wrong about that, but just look up online the Ousama Game prequel, and you'll probably be able to find it on there. It's not that long. I think it was 30 chapters or something like that, a little maybe past that. But yeah, it was actually a really good story. It was actually probably the better Ousama Game, to be honest with you, because it didn't involve high school students just solely. It involved the whole village, and it was actually pretty dark for that matter, because you had like kids getting killed in the Ousama Game, and even the elder villagers were getting involved in it. So it was a very cool story. I liked it a lot. In terms of psychological horror, it was probably way better than the actual King's Game itself, the main story. But I will say that if you guys don't read it and, you need me to explain it at the end when the series probably doesn't explain anything, if it doesn't explain anything, mind you, which I have a striking feeling that it's not going to explain stuff, I will do that in my last review, so look forward to that. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode review. As always, if you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video. By the way, to the commenters that are, not, I don't want to say feeling bad that people are kind of like hating these reviews with the Ousama Game, don't feel bad. It's not a big deal. I'm used to haters once in a while. It's something that you kind of deal with when you do YouTube in general. So don't worry. It's not like I'm gonna stop doing the review. I want to finish the series. I want to finish reviewing it. Obviously, it's not a big deal. Don't worry. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great blessed day, everyone. God bless you all. Bye bye.